Stocks go down, and then every Saturday and Sunday, well, it looks like we got a deal.
It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talk. So you may have just been catching up on the news the last, over the last weekend or so, and there are a lot of new developments in the Nancy Guthrie case. And now that investigators decided to go ahead and release some of those original ransom notes, which they apparently believe to be legitimate, they think there might be a clue within them, and we're going to be talking about that today here on Fox 10 Talks. It's Ron, it's Des, it's Mondays with Mike.
Looking forward to it. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good
morning.
Mike Bates.
Yes.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you guys.
Hey, by the way, here's what else is coming up today on FTT. We are going to take you to Spokane for a report that our sister station in Seattle just filed a little while ago. You're also going to hear from the man behind the effort to save the Old Tucson movie studios. I love them down there just on the hill on the other side of Tucson. And then TMZ will have the very latest on the saga with Ariana Grande. It does seem like there's some issues there. So we're going to be talking about that as well. But you guys, let's get right into it. Story number one has to do with these new developments. So they say that there may be some linguistic features within those original message. This is so interesting to me, you guys, because, you know, in the business we're in, we're all trained to be highly skeptical. And you know there are going to be a bunch of copycats out there, but they do think that a couple of these notes may very well have been legitimate. And so then by releasing them, they are urging the public to come forward because the quote basically is, it's syntax, it's grammar, it's unusual in certain ways. Does a person have a tendency to use grammatical features, particularly vocabulary features? And with that, again, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department and law enforcement investigators, they say that with that, they may be able to determine the age and the educational background of the letter sender that originally, you guys, prompted so much, I guess, angst, you know, both from the family and from law enforcement. Because of all of them that came out, they decided all this time later, let's go ahead and release them.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I kind of wondered, will we ever see them, or are we going to see them when it's all over?
Right.
But reading through it, I was actually surprised, and I don't know about you guys, of how well educated it kind of sounded, and the grammar. You know, I guess I expected it to be
Like fifth grade level or something.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, it didn't feel like it was conversational. Like who says, oh, she perished, instead of, oh, she died or she's dead.
Right.
You know, like that was a clue for me where I was like, okay, that's a little different.
Like they're trying a little too hard to appear to be you know, using big words that normally they would not.
And then what about the one where they, you know, they say, okay, she's perished and she's with nature? Who says that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's buried in nature?
Right. Yes.
Well, and I thought the choice of
right,
parish
I
was
agree.
interesting too, and almost remorseful in a way, like trying to soften the fact that maybe she has died, because I believe right before that, didn't they say we didn't understand just how bad her how much she needed the medication or something like that.
Yeah,
so it was almost like, oh, we feel bad that we took her. We didn't understand her health condition and what it fully was.
Yeah, and then they say, you know, there's nothing that you could have done, but in the same token, they were trying to get $4 to $6 million.
Yes.
It's like,
Right.
Yes, really good points there, Mike. And I just think you guys, you know what, if it was that kind of a situation and you could tell, and come on, she's in her 80s, somebody shows up at her house in the middle of the night. I mean, even if you didn't have heart problems, it would be a situation where you would be almost ready to pass out. They should have anticipated that. And if they didn't mean, quote, for her to perish and it was all just some sort of a odd kidnapping attempt, then take her somewhere and get her help, even if you think you'd get in trouble. You know, leave her at the emergency room of a hospital. Or if you know, have some way of communicating with somebody else, take her to, you know, a doctor, do something to help save her life. And that was, you know, whenever they catch these people, hopefully they will. I don't know about you guys. I'm still optimistic. I know the sheriff is. You know, there's going to be a murder charge involved. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what that new development was. But like you, Des, I was just fascinated that they did finally decide after all this time, we're going to go ahead and release them.
Yeah, so hopefully this leads to some answers. Maybe someone recognizes the writing style or, you know, has a clue now because of this.
Yeah.
Why do you feel, really quick, why do you feel that they did it near the 6-month anniversary? Is it do you think it's to try to once again get people talking about the case because it was going cold?
Sure.
I mean, why not release it 4 months in, 3 months in? You know, why at the 6-month mark here now?
Well, it certainly feels like it has gone cold, doesn't it? To us, it does.
Oh,
for
really
sure.
does.
And
Yeah.
I wonder, if it stings a little bit that they're getting this fresh round of criticism from Kash Patel. Well, let's just put it all out there. Let's put everything out. Okay, so we're going to talk about Spokane. That's where I lived before I moved here to the Valley so many years ago.
And you said the house that you lived in might actually be in jeopardy.
So if you're at all familiar with that area, I mean, they have evacuated dozens, if not hundreds, of city blocks right in the city. There are beautiful old evergreen trees scattered throughout, but the fire jumps, And so everything north of Francis, which would be like their version of Bell Road,
Okay.
with lots of businesses. I just was up there in May, took my 90-year-old aunt out for dinner at a restaurant north of Francis, and a lot of those homes and buildings are now destroyed. Now, I don't know. The home that we had when we lived in Spokane might be gone. But we do have a report here. Now, this is from Sean Chitness, who is with our sister station there in Seattle.
Here in the northwest corner of Spokane, just within the city limits, this is near one of the 3 fires that are burning north of Spokane, and you can see up close the devastation that it has done to so many communities and so many families impacted by these fires. This is one of many homes in this neighborhood destroyed by the Old Trails fire. Now, that fire is burning just southwest of where we are, but not too far, the Autumn Lane fire and then also the Fairview fire. Together, tens of thousands of people have had to evacuate, and an early report suggests that around 600 homes and other buildings destroyed by these fires. You can see the red retardant in the distance and on the ground here, a sense of the work that was happening to try and save these homes. In some cases, homes were spared. As we often see with these fires, they spare one home and they destroy another. We don't know what it is like for the families in this area because this spot remains a level 3 go now evacuation. Folks have been told not to return to these homes. We have permission as a news crew just to be here so we can show the impact of the damage and the destruction. But this neighborhood, like some of the others we have seen, is another example where on one side you see a home that is destroyed, but if we turn over here to the other side of the street, you get a sense of those who were lucky and may have retardant around their homes, but for now their homes are spared and they are waiting for a sign and for authorities to allow them to return into this area once that evacuation order has been lifted. For now, the winds are calm, but the air quality remains at a dangerous level. Another challenge for those who are fighting these fires and trying to assist those who have had to evacuate from their homes. Unclear when they'll be able to return. Reporting in Spokane, Washington, I'm Sean Chitness. Now back to you.
Okay, thank you, Sean. And the report just shows you the hopscotch nature of these fires.
Oh,
right
what
across
mixed
the
emotion
street.
you're waking up feeling as the person living across the street, right? Grateful that your house was spared.
Sure.
But then you look across and probably see a neighbor that you're close to and their house is gone.
Right.
It's like a washer and dryer there in the middle of the rubble.
And then you think about it, even if your house was spared, I mean, look at the neighborhood now. It is tore up.
Right. And he said we had to get special permission to even be in this area. So as frequently happens, it's a no-go zone. You may at this point here, even though it was Saturday when they all broke out, here it is Monday, you may not know if your house actually made it or not.
Yeah,
in a
that's
neighborhood
devastating.
Like that. Yeah. Okay, one more story before we do hit the break. I don't know if you guys saw these images coming out of Mesa, but this is a driver having an extremely bad day. Now, we report every so often on a car that maybe bumps into a building, a business or a home, but this vehicle is almost fully submerged into this condo out there in Mesa. So here's what we know so far. This was Saturday at Broadway and Sossaman. The car punched first through a block wall, had to be going pretty good rate of speed, crashes into a parked car and a transformer, and then kind of careens off of that and right into the duplex. Amazingly, nobody was home at the time. We don't know if the driver who, I mean, you got to see your life flash before your eyes in a situation like this. We don't know yet if the driver was seriously hurt or not. We're still trying to get some of that info. But look at that vehicle, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine what it sounded like, too? I mean, it's almost submerged, like you said there. I mean, usually you see, just the front part going in, but I mean, this is almost all the way in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, luckily nobody was home at the time, because that could have been devastating for someone, inside.
It makes you wonder how it could have even unfolded like that. Where, you hit one thing, you go through a block wall. I'm assuming it's like a pony wall, not like a big wall because it's the front of the house. But then the next thing you know, you're out of control. You can't stop it. You hit a transformer box, and then boom, you're about 75% of the way in the house.
And what a mess now for that homeowner, where it's just going to be weeks and weeks now dealing with insurance and all this. It's just going to be a headache.
Right, fighting with them, right, to help you cover the cost.
Yeah, it would be helpful if the insurance guy watches Fox 10 and is already aware of what's going on.
Right.
You make the phone call and oh yes, I saw that on the news. I know exactly what you're talking about. We'll help you with your...
And our message to the insurance company, don't make it difficult on those people. Jeez.
Thank you.
You can't do anything about that.
Smart,
especially when it's not your vehicle either.
No
kidding. All right, so coming up next, you guys, it is a classic Old West movie studio near Tucson, but it faces an uncertain future. The man who's leading the charge to save it is coming up.
Ooh.
That'll be good.
Yeah, stay with us.
Hello, Rob. Hello, Rob. Can you hear us reasonably well? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Excellent. Okay, looking forward to it. We're about 2 minutes out.
Perfect.
All right.
That's great. Thanks, man.
All right, there you go. There's your preview of the Mystery Cam, which is coming up in 15 more minutes. You can noodle it around. It looks like someplace, you guys, I might be going out on a limb that's not 116.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
116.
Right.
Yeah.
How does it just like look more pleasant based off just the temperature?
As you were saying that you were putting the kids in the car and it was like your ankles were burning.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I mean, obviously the car's running, so you're getting some heat from the car, but it's like we were just talking about how hot it was this weekend. It's like the second you step out, you can feel the sun just radiating off your skin. And yeah, because I have to, lean in and put the kids in the car. So if I've got shorts on, just the back of my legs are on fire.
They're already on fire.
Yeah.
Well, I think I maybe spent 15 minutes at the car wash this weekend. Maybe.
Wow.
So you drive through, right? And then it's up to you. Do you want to vacuum out your car or not? Well, I hadn't vacuumed it in a couple of weeks.
Oh.
And by the time I wrapped up, I was just like a sweat hog with whatever that was, the other 7 to 8 minutes that I was there just trying to vacuum out the car. We're all dealing with it right now.
I know. That's tough.
It's funny, though, how fast, in the summer, people are in and out of the car washes. But in the winter, people are just taking their time. And, it's almost like they just don't want to go back home. It's like a retreat for them, a little getaway.
Really getting every crevice there. All right, move it along. No one's going to see underneath that seat.
There's always a little bit more somewhere that you can vacuum out. Hey, all right, so we're going to shift from Phoenix talk to Tucson talk because being a longtime guy here in the Valley, lived here for more than 40 years, I love Old Tucson, and I love the fact that there's a guy out there leading the charge to save Old Tucson, and he's going to join us. Right now, it's Rob Loebl. Hello, Rob.
Hello, all. Hello.
All right. Tell us why you're so concerned, first of all. I'm going to share some video for people who have never been to Old Tucson. So why you're so concerned and what the current status is of this longtime beloved old movie studio.
All right. Well, what really lit a fire for me is having been a performer myself out there for the past several years. When I heard that the current owner was not going to renew the lease with the county, the first thing that hit me was that 100 of my close
we just got a
personal
freeze.
friends were going to lose their jobs.
Yes.
And that didn't sit very well with me.
Okay,
so I created Wild West Enterprise LLC, and we decided to do everything that we could to bring it back.
Well, let me show our viewers. Our drone guys were out there not too long ago flying overhead. Give us a little bit of the history and why this place is so special.
Well, this was built in 1939 by Hollywood for the movie Arizona. They were only going to use it one time, and it was literally left to melt in the desert until 1959, when a Mr. Bob Shelton, like Knott's Berry Farms, the movies just came in as a bonus. Bob was a friend with John Wayne, and through the course of the years, over 450 productions have been shot out there, and every old celebrity that you can think of has walked those grounds. Now, there was a fire in 1995, and since then it has been on a steady decline. And now, with the status of everything, our plan is to rebuild the 70s and 80s as far as the town goes, but we can rebuild a new version of Old Tucson that is still true to the Wild West. And the bigger we build it, the more movies we can get back into it. One of my main goals is turning it back into a film studio and education purposes during the day to provide for everyone. But the first thing we would do is lower the prices for all locals, and that includes Phoenix. It'll be $25 to get into the park for an adult. It'll be $20 for seniors, veteran, 6 and over. Under 6 is free. So come and enjoy your day at Old Tucson.
Yeah, do you feel like that was a big problem? Is ticket prices kind of is why it saw a good decline?
From all what that we've read, that was one of the biggest. We did a video a couple of weeks ago, and it's almost currently at 500,000 views, and we read every single response, and that was one of the biggest, was bring down the prices. So we've been listening.
What was it like for people who came there, maybe even brought their kids? I mean, it was totally a family-featured kind of attraction, I think. Tell us what it was like then and what you hope it will become if your efforts are successful.
All right. Well, a lot of the things are going to match what they did and what we're doing. First is going to be bringing back the pony rides. We're going to be bringing back the rodeos, the concerts. Our ultimate 5-year plan is to be rebuilding a new sound studio, which is going to be huge for Arizona. And the list goes on as far as I want to get a hot air balloon. Now, everything and even building the park back is all contingent on working with the county. And we've got a great relation, proper stewards for them to select.
That's so great. Well, okay, so how much do you need to raise, and how can people find out more about you guys?
Our goal is $3 million. That's what we're trying to raise. And we have taken, you can read everything about our plan on our site. That's hollywoodofthedesert.com. And you can also find us on Save Old Tucson page on Facebook.
Okay. By the way, before we let you go, I'm going to just speak about my favorite Old Tucson movie.
Yeah.
You guys ready? Okay, I'm going to pop it up on the screen here, Rob. Ready? You can.
All right.
That's right.
Absolutely.
The Three
Now, as you may know,
Amigos.
the 40th year anniversary for the Three Amigos. And one of the things I would love to do if I can acquire the park before the end of the year is have those gentlemen back out for a meet and greet. I think that would be fantastic, and we should celebrate them for the celebrities that they are.
Oh, that would be quite fun.
Oh my gosh,
Those are some great memories with that movie. Wow.
All right, Rob,
Absolutely.
thanks so much. Once again, what's a website people can go to?
That is hollywoodofthedesert.com, or you can find us on Save Old Tucson site. That's just Save Old Tucson on Facebook.
Wishing you the
Right.
best of luck.
Yeah, hopefully we help get you to that $3 million goal. Rob, thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to talking to you folks again in the future.
Absolutely,
it.
yeah. And I'm looking on their website too. It says from corporate events and private parties to school field trips. Wouldn't it be fun if we took a Fox 10 field trip
Okay.
down to Old Tucson?
Sure. We used to do those field
Yeah,
trips.
that would be fun.
Okay, a couple more stories here, Mike, before we let you go. I'm going to try to delve into this and keep it professional.
Ooh, this is a good tease.
Okay.
This is a good tease.
Uh-oh, we have to preface this. Uh-oh.
I don't know. Based on what happened in the 6 a.m. now. So it's National Grab Some Nuts Day. Now, Mike,
Exactly.
now, can we keep it above a 4th grade level, Desiree?
No, we can't. We're all children, okay?
Well, the way that
We're all children.
whoever came up with that knew what they were doing in the title.
And he knew what he was doing this morning when he brought it up. Okay.
You know what's funny is I actually thought Anita would be the one who lost it, but it was way more you. Like, Des, come back to the show. Come on back.
I had it together, and then when I did the turn mic, I saw Crystal laughing, and that just set
You
me
lost
off.
it? You
I
lost
lost it.
Now, on the more professional side of things, what is your go-to, you guys? If you're walking into the store, you've got a few dollars to spend, you want to grab a snack, and it's got to be nuts, what are you going to go for?
You know, I don't really eat a whole lot of peanuts, but it would be almonds and probably chocolate covered.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a higher sugar content. If
You
I
know,
recall.
Ron, just let me live. Okay? What do you like, Mike?
Chocolate covered or pecans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Ooh, so are you like a pecan pie type of guy?
I am. So I
Oh.
like that crunch, you know? Yeah.
Oh, you would have loved my grandmother's pecan pie.
I would have.
So
I
good.
would have.
Oh my gosh,
What do you
great
like?
memories. I'm a macadamia nut guy.
Those
The
pricey
prices
ones.
keep going up.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
I don't know. So you know what I do? You know the nuts I have on my desk right now? They're half max with a bunch of peanuts in them. Because otherwise, who can afford
You got to cut it down, right?
Yeah.
That's. You know which ones I do love though. Actually, if we're at the fair or they're at Buc-ee's. The fresh roasted
Ooh,
ones,
okay.
like those are good.
Nice.
And then if that's the case, I'm grabbing cashews.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cashews
Yeah.
are great. Hey, you guys, it was on this day in 1933 that the first Mickey Mouse watch made its debut.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if you guys are collectors of anything, really. But some Disney, some people collect everything Disney.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
And if your grandma or grandpa bought one of these back in the 1930s, they sold for somewhere between $275 and $375.
Okay.
Let me show you what.
Wow.
This is what there is an original watch right now. I want to make sure I punch the right one up here. Ready? Here we go. On sale on
Look
eBay
at that.
Wow.
for $19,000.
Oh.
Come on.
You know, I thought they were going to look like a lot more outdated than what they do.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like you could wear that and it looks
this is
pretty good
true.
today.
And
Like,
it's,
it gets
you know, you got the
yeah.
classic look there of Mickey with his hands giving you the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Sure. I mean, it's got to be the original to get
Wow.
that kind of price. Supposedly, they go more in the $1,000 range, but I don't know. This guy maybe thinks he's got the one. Okay.
Well,
one
is this coming in the set, I wonder? Because there's a picture of both,
it does show
too.
two.
But
Well, maybe that's okay.
maybe
Yes, there you go.
that could be why.
Maybe it's
I
like
don't know.
19,000
$19,000, though.
He does have a 100% positive rating, selling rating, so.
Yeah.
All right, Mike's
There you
good perspective there. Hey,
So you can trust him, we hope.
So here, before we run, and then we're back with some really great stuff starting at 10:30 with TMZ. What are you listening to, Mike, when you drive in to work? The local radio station. We got some good ones.
Yeah, I'm
Get a
all
lot
about
of
the.
love.
I do the sports talk radio.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if the D-backs are doing well like they are now, it's fun to watch
Yes,
or
I
listen to.
Yeah. On my way in, I will listen to the news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my way home, I'll drive in silence.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I featured you more like jamming to some tunes. No.
It depends, but most days I leave here, I'm a little overstimulated, and then I'm going home to 4 kids who are then
Yeah.
going to continue to overstimulate me. So
So it's the final.
it's like the only point in time where I'll get silence. And we've talked about this, Ron, because I
Yeah.
feel like when you're an adult, think about when is your day silent?
That's
Right.
true. That is
you know,
true.
just when we sleep, but that's not silence like you can really enjoy.
You
So I
get
don't
to
know. What do
where
do?
you just really value that little bit quiet time.
Yeah,
right?
what do you
I'm
listen
a
to on your way in?
podcast guy. Give me all the football talk. I can jam into my earlobes. Mystery Cam time. Michael, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.
Always fun, guys.
All right, everybody, we are going to get to the mystery cam in just a few minutes.
Yes. We'll give you some more time to think about it.
For sure. Right now, we're going to take you live to Spokane. The news conference that we've been anticipating is underway. Let's listen.
To either structures or outbuildings, both residential and commercial, within the fire's footprints. I would like to start by thanking the region for the amount of support that we've received as a team. The community support has been incredible. The support from the governor's office, the local fire chiefs, the sheriff, and the city police chief have been extraordinary. It's rare that we come into a community like this and have the types of relationships that have been established to meet the mission. Next week or so are going to be extremely difficult as we start to grasp the overwhelming amount of damage that has been done in this community and try to turn the corner and help you recover. It's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of coordination, and a lot of patience, frankly. Our expectation is over the next few days, as we receive resources from all over the country, that we place them in the most affected neighborhoods. We meet the need of the community. We meet the need of the individuals that live here, that work here, that raise kids here. That's our expectation. I want to go ahead and introduce the governor, the state of Washington, Governor Ferguson, and I want to thank him too for the overwhelming amount of support that the team has received over the last few days, and our efforts to try to make this unbelievable tragedy a little bit more tolerable. Governor.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here. I have a brief update before I get to that. Just again want to reiterate that our hearts are with everybody who's been impacted by this, nightmare situation. I think, Mayor, you'd mentioned that I think from a historical standpoint, this is likely, the worst natural disaster in Spokane's history. When you're dealing with the scale of devastation that is historical, the impact on people's lives is truly profound. I'm deeply appreciative for all the first responders. We were having a briefing in this room not long ago, and there are first responders in that room who have been evacuated from their homes, and yet they're still out there dealing with this situation and helping their neighbors here dealing with this challenging situation. So we're deeply grateful, of course, to them. I do want to also echo the coordination. We deeply appreciate that. Every level that is, I think people expect that, and I want people to know they're getting that is full cooperation from every level of government to do the best we possibly can. I'll speak briefly to one of those levels of cooperation. That's with the federal government. So as you know, when I mentioned yesterday, the state, I made a request for an emergency declaration and direct federal assistance from the federal government. So that happened yesterday afternoon. There was a meeting this morning at 9 a.m. Between the state and FEMA representatives, a coordination call. We have not received word yet if that's been granted, but we anticipate it will be. But FEMA made clear they are already moving resources into the state in preparation of potentially granting that request. So just want to be clear, the federal government's not waiting around for a decision. They are, as we speak, moving resources into Washington state in anticipation of that potentially being granted. I want to reiterate, I deeply appreciate, I've received a lot of outreach from the federal government, and appreciate that and that concern, and hope that request is granted very, very soon. Obviously, we'll update you immediately if and when we receive that. I do want to just briefly update that request for direct federal assistance and a granting of emergency. That pertains not just to Spokane. So it's multiple counties and 3 tribes. And I don't think I mentioned that yesterday, and so I'm going to read those off now. So the 6 counties we are requesting that declaration of emergency and that direct federal assistance, this is in the short term, are the following counties: Spokane, Stevens, Chelan, Okanagan, Yakima, and Ferry. Spokane, Stevens, Chelan, Okanagan, Yakima, and Ferry. And 3 tribal nations: Spokane, Colville, and Yakima. I'll be leaving from here to actually meet with leadership from the Colville Nation, so that we understand that this fire is impacting many, many communities across our state. And that's why that request includes those 6 counties and those 3 trusts. And just to reiterate what I think I mentioned yesterday, the type of direct federal assistance would include search and rescue, debris removal, medical supplies and assistance, temporary sheltering, emergency power. So, for example, generators. Those are the types of direct assistance that we're requesting from the federal government for those jurisdictions and those tribes. Thank you very much. And I'm going to turn, I believe, to Mayor Brown. And the mayor, is just truly appreciate her leadership during an extraordinarily challenging time for her city. Mayor Brown.
Thanks. I'm going to stand here. Thank you, Governor. I have basically three words for everybody. It's gratitude, it's patience, and it's hope. So gratitude. I am being pinged constantly. I just want everyone in this room, out of the room. The people of this region really understand and appreciate what you're doing. You're putting your lives on the line. You're working day and night. You're coordinating at the EOCs. You're providing relief, and that is something we will never forget, and we are very, very grateful for. So thank you. Thank you to the governor for being here, and our Commissioner of Public Lands. Thank you in particular for the cooperation. Don't take for granted how well the fire chiefs and police chiefs across all these jurisdictional boundaries are working together. It is truly something that we can be proud of as a region. Second is patience. I know people want to have certainty about when can I get back to my property, when can I get back to my home. We don't have it. We pushed, and it was made very, very clear, and I trust the folks in this room. We don't know. It's neighborhood by neighborhood and block by block, and so we really want you to pay attention. They are regularly reevaluating the situation, the weather, the fire, and the potential for things to reignite. They're regularly reevaluating that, and will issue any changes whenever they have that information that makes it safe to do so. And
all right, so we will continue to monitor it. They're just kind of issuing some of the latest. The evacuation orders to us are just mind-boggling. Tens of thousands of people are out of their home right now.
Devastating. And like you mentioned, to see the image of the homes there and all of that plush forest sitting right on the lake, now potentially gone, is just devastating. It looks, I heard a report this morning, apocalyptic, and that's a good way to put it. Yeah, definitely a good description.
Okay, we're going to shift gears now. Usually a little after 10:30 every Monday morning. Here he is, Eric Wilson, all set and ready to go. How you doing, friend?
Hey, Eric.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good. Okay. You guys are busy, covering a lot, but someone in the spotlight this morning, Ariana Grande, and in fact, she said she wants to now step away. What's going on?
Yeah, so over the past few months, she's obviously been on this Eternal Sunshine tour, and she's been getting a lot of scrutiny, and a lot of people online have been commenting on her appearance, specifically how skinny she's looked over this time, and I think that's finally getting to her, and she's decided to pull back from public performances, or really just being in the public in general. After this tour ends, she said she's stepping away from all activity, acting, singing, on tour, all that stuff. And she's pulling out of a West End performance Sunday in the Park with Georgia. She was supposed to do with Jonathan Bailey. So she's obviously, made a very difficult decision here, because that was a highly anticipated performance of hers, of the Wicked Stars reuniting on such a grand stage. So this obviously wasn't an easy decision, but yeah, it looks like after this tour is over, we'll be seeing a lot less of her.
Go ahead.
People can be cruel online. It was probably no surprise, some of the comments that are out there. Are you hearing anything, though, from friends or associates about whether they are concerned about her, her
No, I mean, in the statement that was put out by her people, they said that she's happy and healthy. And didn't comment on any of the specifics about, kind of the rumors going around about her. She seems happy, on stage, and then they're saying she's healthy, so you just got to take them for their word.
Okay, but can you focus on another star that kind of spoke out, Jamila Jamil? What did she initially say? And then it was followed by some other posts that she shared on her social media pages as well.
I'm not familiar with that one. Sorry, I didn't see that part of it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Eric. Well, I'm on
good.
I'm on the TMZ website, so I'll just read it. I guess she's a British star. She's had made a post that initially says, "This poor woman is possibly dying in front of us. The outfit is designed to accentuate the thinness for discourse. Her team are thoroughly irresponsible for not guiding her away from this deeply damaging image for her young fans to see so glamorized." And she goes on to say, you know, it's kind of that double-edged sword. Like, if you say something, you're a bad guy, but if you don't, she says, the other consequence of, you know, kind of putting this thinness on display in a high pedestal can also be damaging.
Yeah, I mean, and Jamila's someone that comments on these kind of things all the time. And here, you know, she might be right, because people are seeing this version of Ariana. And again, we don't know if she's going through anything, any sort of eating disorder, anything like that. We're not sure. But I can see what she's saying with fans seeing this and her not commenting on it. But again, at the end of the day, if she is actually healthy, then, you know, what is there to do?
Yeah. It just seems, you know, we're in the news that with the creation of a lot of these drugs, people are taking them lately, Ozempic and whatever else is out there, to lose all of this weight. So maybe that was the kind of the connection that Jamila was trying to make. But in the video, Petal, it's a little disturbing. I mean, you can see her bones, you know, and maybe the concern isn't to hurt her and hurt her mental health, but the fact that her fans are you know, truly worried about her.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's not coming from a place of just straight up body shaming. It is a place of concern that people have that she looks this way. And this is obviously, you know, kind of for the last year or so, she's looked this way since the Wicked Press tour. People have been commenting on it. But again, I mean, you know, if she has an issue, if she's not getting help, if she's trying to, you know, put it under the carpet, that's obviously not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Eric, we'll hope for the best for her, that's for sure. We always appreciate hanging out with you.
Yeah. Good to see you,
Good,
Eric.
guys. Thanks.
Like your shirt. It's like fresh and clean today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Love it.
I separate my whites and colors.
Did you do your laundry over the weekend? Nice move, buddy, just like me.
No, like, you know,
Thank
it
you.
just looks very crisp. I liked it.
By the way, we will have the mystery cam answer next.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us through that break. Excuse me. So you guys have been guessing here in the chat on what the mystery cam might be. So I'm going to scroll up and try to find some of those earlier guesses here before we release the answer. Excuse me, I caught a frog in my throat at the wrong time. All right, as I'm looking back here, Outlaw Dynamo guessed early and thinks this could be a shot of Pennsylvania. We have a Camp Crystal Lake guess from Thomas Favela, and Raider AZ thinks this could be Tennessee. Thomas also says Moore's Gulch, wherever that might be. And then scrolling down, Ron, they are getting a lot of guesses in.
Okay, good.
We got also Bloody Basin. Deborah thinks this could be Michigan. Skunks Creek from Thomas as well. Thomas guessed quite a few times.
Yeah.
Thomas. Be Kind Forever says this is Oregon. Low Philosophy says Georgia. B. Miguel, North Carolina. And again, Outlaw Dynamo with Pennsylvania, Raider AZ, Tennessee, sticking with that. Linda thinks this could be Missouri. So our guesses are quite all over the place.
Yeah, they are. All right, so what do you think?
But I'll go with, this one's tough. I'll go a little philosophy today, Georgia.
Right. Okay, I am going to go Minnesota because they have 10,000 lakes, So.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Here comes
Let's
your
see.
answer.
Here is the answer. Oh, Du Bois, Pennsylvania.
Oh, is that right? Good old Dean. He's a Pennsylvania boy at heart,
Dean.
and he doesn't hesitate when it's a beautiful day like that.
Oh, they've got look at their sky over Pennsylvania today.
Yeah,
Whew,
kidding,
that's
really
beautiful.
nice. Hey, let's check and see what's going on. The price of oil has been dropping pretty low. Well, I don't know what that was. Look at this. We're up 602 points right now on the Dow, and it's mostly because oil has been dropping. Right now, the market seems to be kind of positive. It feels like we've been down this road dozens of times. Iran wants to talk. They maybe even agree to a deal, and then 2 days later, the IRGC starts attacking ships. So we'll see what happens. Today, though, it's all to the good. It's all to the positive. Oil back down into the 70s. That's what we would like to hear, down to $79 a barrel. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Now, there have been a couple of other pretty interesting developments that we want to get to when it comes to the kind of the big headlines. It looks like hang on, one second. Oh, all right. Please. We have the president speaking. Let's go there live. Let's take that now.
For that, and that continues today. And like you said, these are generational issues that are long overdue to address. And we have the most amazing women here who have decades of experience as military spouses themselves to take a look at it. There's really nothing we're going to find that they haven't experienced. And so between what they've experienced and what they know, we're going to really tackle these things. And I've spent the last year traveling around, meeting with military spouses and families around the world and around the country, and it's the same from Kentucky to Singapore. It's housing, it's healthcare, it's employment, it's childcare, it's education, and so we're going to take a look at all of those things. Even one of the women up here, I won't say who, but was a paramedic, and as they moved from state to state, she could not get the license. Switch to that state in time before you move again, before you PCS, and it makes it really difficult for these families to survive, let alone all the other sacrifices we're asking for them. So this is a big deal today. We're super grateful. Every time Pete travels around, Secretary Hickson travels around talking to the troops, he tells them, the president has your back, and now the families know that you have their back too. And we are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we are going to continue to watch that, Des, as it unfolds.
That's right. So it looks like the president signing a military spouse commission executive order. We'll take a look and dive and see what is in that order. But it sounds like the families, they're grateful for this executive order.
Yeah. Okay. Busy day for him, that's for sure. He got the news early this morning that his choice for Attorney General is, it now looks like, going to be approved. We're talking about Todd Blanche. And there were two GOP senators who said, if you don't kill the anti-weaponization $1.8 billion fund, we are not going to vote for him. And all Democrats had already said they would not. This is just to get it out of committee. It still has to go before the full Senate. So we'll see how it unfolds. But both Tom Tillis and John Cornyn said, all right, if you'll commit to doing that, we will commit to voting for him. And it does look like that's going to happen. The other story that was so interesting, Des, coming out of D.C., is that they did decide not to move forward with any kind of prosecution. Jeanine Pirro making the decision there regarding any kind of damage that might have been done to the reflecting pool, the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. You know, has been, I feel like any time I've ever been there, it's just been sitting there empty. But prior to America 250, the president wanted it refilled. And so, you know, they basically looked at it and said, we don't feel like there's enough evidence to move forward with charges. And so this one-time Olympian, David Hearn, had been accused of damaging the pool after it had undergone the renovation here just in the last few months.
Yeah, but apparently, and the president does not agree with Jeanine Pirro. You know, he believes that most of the damage was caused by vandals, but it looks like she just didn't believe maybe there was enough evidence there to support that.
Okay, so here's the poll question. What do you think? We're pretty evenly split on this one. Vandalism at the reflecting pool, all charges have been dropped. What do you think? They're still moving around. 39% say good, there was never any real evidence, but 52% are saying bad. I'm still kind of suspicious. They need to investigate more. Your third option on the QR code, you can grab it right now with your phone and join the convo, is it seems like the work was rushed, and it probably was that.
And then here on YouTube, more than 2,000 votes. Would you look at that? About 2,200 right now. 53% of folks say good. There was never any real evidence here in this case. 32% say bad. They're still suspicious. They would like them to investigate a bit more. And 16% say the work was rushed, and it was probably that.
Let's find out if Dave sees comments. Well, with 2,000 votes, I bet he does.
I hope so, right? Yeah, there's got to be a couple.
Lots of comments coming in on fox10phoenix.com/poll, as well as on YouTube. Robert and Kingman says there are cameras all over that national monument. The level of vandalism would have been caught on camera. Carol E7Q says, with Trump derangement syndrome being so bad, it is not unreasonable to suspect vandalism. And Thomas Brown 7820 says, what needs to be investigated? When you drive a motorcade down the middle of the pool to inspect the finished product, bad things are bound to happen. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys.
Okay, now the thing about Dave, we're not going to let him go just yet, Daz, because we don't do this all the time, but I thought this would be an interesting one to check back in on, because we just had Andy Biggs here.
Yes.
Republican candidate for governor on Friday, and
and now his newly elected, well, not elected, appointed lieutenant governor, Sina Kerr.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so the poll Q re-Q, you might remember the governor had said not going to go ahead, and that's today's poll. But here's, stand by. Here we go. There's the poll Q re-Q. And now I think we can show you the actual results of where things stand right now. Over 8,000 votes over the weekend. 77% say they do need to debate. Arizonans deserve it. The governor said she is not going to participate. 12% said, no, I already know who I'm voting for. And 10% said, doesn't matter. There are other ways to learn about the candidates.
I mean, there are a lot of ways to learn about the candidates these days. That is true. But it looks like, with more than 8,000 votes here, most people would love to see that debate.
How about this one, Dave?
So many comments, and I want to keep in mind, I want to make sure everybody knows that we've had Andy Biggs on 4 times. We've had Governor Hobbs on 3 times, just planning on coming back soon this month. So there are plenty of ways to find out about the candidates, including right here on Fox 10 Talks.
Boom.
Anyway, Palma Hudson in Douglas says, there are many older people who do not get their information from the internet and should have the chance to hear the candidates debate. It's an important part of the process. NAMLLC says Katie Hobbs refused to debate Carrie Lake, but somehow she won the governorship. And Bill Dalton 9325 declares debates should be mandatory. We love hearing from you guys. Keep it coming.
Thank you, Big D.
All right.
We got to get out of here, Des. But before we do, can we run an animal story or two? Look at this. Watch this. Yeah.
That's,
okay. Look at that.
Yeah, no thank you. I'm with the FedEx lady. Listen, I'm running for the door as fast as possible. If anything in a package moves like that.
I cannot believe how fast These iguanas move.
Those things are really fast.
Yeah, okay, Tennessee's FedEx workers there, they open the package. What do you know? Inside pops out the iguana. And it's like he had the instincts to immediately get to a door. Crazy.
Yeah, he
right?
wanted out. I have so many questions about this. I'm like, wait, how can the iguana breathe in the package, for one?
Right.
And two, if the package was sealed up and you were just dropping it off to ship, like, why did you open it? Why was it being opened at the FedEx location? Like, did they need to check the package? Like, why?
Didn't somebody write on the box, contains one iguana?
Live reptile inside, bold letters.
All right, one last one here before we go, and this is all the way from Alaska. This is mind-boggling to me. Look how calm this guy is right now. So this is Carter Brown.
He's like the definition of Mr. Cool.
Yeah,
Like,
he is.
You know?
Man, okay. That is a man's man right there.
That is a man's man.
Maybe he's thinking,
He
you know
didn't
what?
even
I'm not worried
flinch.
about the bear because they're busy eating fish. They don't want to eat any humans.
Yeah, until they smell the fish in your boat. But he is a trained guide.
Yes.
And so, I don't know. I guess maybe that's what led to his calm demeanor.
Yeah, well, he had it. So he does these tours, these fishing charters. And I don't know. I don't know if he tossed the fish into the water to get the bears to surface or how it all works. But look at that. Look at, I mean, he can't be more than 10 or 15 feet away from those big bears.
Isn't that wild? And my other concern was, did he catch any fish? Like, are there fish in the boat? Can the bears smell that?
Good point.
You know, I'd be like
yes.
trying to off-haul that fish out of the boat.
Yes. You know what? I didn't even think about that, but they got a pretty good sense of smell.
That's what I'm saying. But obviously he's okay. He posted a video after. So.
Everybody
What a cool
survived
encounter.
both of those animal stories.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty cool.
guess what's coming up next? Ty and Anita, everybody. Woo-hoo.
Happy Monday. Welcome on in. Fox 10 Talks continues now at 11 o'clock.
Jam-packed show.
Indeed we do. This weekend, one word. Brutal.
Did you leave the house?
No.
No.
I really
Only
didn't.
when we had to.
Only when I had to.
We walked around 4:45 a.m. Saturday and Sunday.
4:45?
Before the sun comes up.
Wow. It was still like in the 90s, though, or that early, right?
Saturday was definitely hotter. It felt warmer and very humid because by the time I got home, I was drenched. Then Sunday. But man, it hurts.
Yeah. Crystal, unfortunately, this pattern going to hold on for a little bit longer with these warm
I'm
temperatures,
still shocked that you walked it all outside. Kudos to you.
I'm going to not.
I
won't
still like 100 this morning at 4 a.m.
Yes. But there's no sun, so I don't feel like I'm...
Like a little
I'm putting myself in danger.
That's fair.
But it was rough.
Yeah, we made to 116 on Saturday and 115 on Sunday, which were our forecast highs for both days, and both days either tied or broke the record for the date. So it's been a stretch. And then this morning, yet again, our morning only dropped to 97 degrees, which ties or breaks the record for this morning's warmest low. But also, if we don't see it drop below 97 by midnight tonight, that will tie yet again for the second time this year the hottest morning ever on record for Phoenix Sky Harbor.
I have a lot of concerns about these records because
we break them
we continue to break them, and so next year we're going to be breaking a 120, and then really, what can we withstand?
Yeah,
how do you survive?
I mean, we do break quite a bit or tie quite a bit of afternoon highs, but usually kind of in that same vicinity of 116 to 120, and we haven't seen much variation from there. But where we keep seeing the number just go higher and higher and higher is the overnight lows, and that has, there's always going to be the factor of our warming climate. But then on top of that, we've got the urban heat island. And we add more people, we add more buildings, we add more cars, and it gets hotter over.
There's no relief.
Yeah,
really
that's been
you just wonder how everything. I mean, even just the AC is going to keep up, the power grid, how the animals are going to live.
Yeah, it's rough, and we are not out of it quite yet. We still have extreme heat warnings that are in place. So we do this when I remember it. So what temperature do you think it is right now?
Oh, I'm going to go 104.
Okay. Anita?
I'm thinking higher, 108-ish, because I was outside and it was brutal.
Felt terrible?
Yeah.
105.
Oh.
So in
Right
the middle,
in the middle.
of you too. We're at 105 right now. It's 11 a.m. So no surprise that it yet again is going to be a 110 plus day as we get into the afternoon. Here are the temperatures around the rest of the state. Everyone's feeling it. I've seen people up in the high country posting oh my gosh, how much longer? I can't handle this. Because for Kingman, 100 already. Ouch. For Prescott, 94 already. Brutal. We're at 86 in Show Low. We're in the middle 80s right now in Flagstaff, and we should approach near 90 degrees in Flag by this afternoon. So here are the heat alerts that are in place. Basically going from east to west is when they will expire. So for southeastern and northeastern Arizona, the heat advisory and heat warnings that you see, those expire this evening. Then for central parts of the state around the valley and down even into Yuma County, it expires tomorrow evening. And that's the same for the Grand Canyon. And then finally for Mojave County, it actually doesn't expire until Wednesday because of the heat that we are expecting to hold on over these next several days. But in combo with it, it's now getting more humid. Did you feel it when you're out there right now?
So humid.
Yeah, it's already getting humid.
And anyone who says it's a dry heat, no, it's not.
Not anymore.
No, it's not.
During
I'm
a good
sorry, but
monsoon
it is
season.
not.
I mean, during a dry monsoon, it is a dry heat because we don't have the true monsoonal moisture in play. But when you have a really solid monsoonal pattern, which is what we've had this year, you get moisture this time of year. So our dew points are up. They're in the upper 50s right now. And it does look like we will see it just continue to climb the next several days. So it's only going to get muggier. Right now, there's not a lot going on. There's a couple little thunderstorms down near parts of Pinell County, actually moving over Casa Grande right now. And then a couple that are outside of Tucson. But otherwise, it's fairly dry for the moment. But if we put the futurecast into motion, some stronger storms are going to start to fire off later this afternoon, mostly in east to southeast Arizona. The thing is, a couple of these may pack a punch. And if they are strong enough, the outflows from those could send a few thunderstorms into the valley tonight. So I'd say between 8 and 11 or so is when we'll watch that window for some storm potential. If those storms can make it to the valley, the main threats would be some stronger winds, some blowing dust, but also possibly some pockets of heavier rain with lightning. Notice on the severe storm outlook, this is put together by the Storm Prediction Center, so they only are analyzing for the areas with the highest likelihood of severe or damaging storms. And you can see in southern Arizona, we're at a 2 out of 5 on the scale, which doesn't sound like much, but remember, most of the year we're at 0 out of 5 on the scale. So to be anything on the scale is an indicator that there is the potential for some more strong and, again, potentially damaging storms generally down in southern Arizona. The light green that's over the valley indicates that at least some more generic thunderstorms, so some rain, some lightning is possible, which is what we're talking about. So there's a look at the 10-day Foxcast. 113 is the high today, not record-setting, but still well above average. 111 tomorrow, and then we'll drop below 110 starting Wednesday. But our storm chances tonight, I have it spiking to 30%, and then it spikes again on Wednesday into Thursday, and then we'll see over the weekend as well. So we're on that kind of on again, off again pattern yet again, where we'll have these chances for storms kind of circulating.
One of the comments I had today when I was out of school was that it's already August and we're just seeing this, what you would feel extreme heat. It wasn't as bad in July. Yeah, so I mean, we really can't complain that much.
Yeah, some of the stretches weren't as bad in July, in part because we had all the storms. So anyway, we can take it. We'll take a cool down.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate
Crystal, we
it.
appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. All right, it's time for What You Are Reading. These are the top 3 news stories right now on fox10phoenix.com. And this is number 1 here. 19-year-old wanted in Chandler sextortion scheme captured in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, his name is Jaden Lewandowski, and he was sought out on 5 counts of sexual extortion for allegedly using explicit photos to humiliate his victims. Number 2, 2 people found dead after shooting inside a Lake Havasu city home. They were found Saturday afternoon, and they do believe this had something to do with domestic violence.
Then the number 3 most read story right now on fox10phoenix.com. This was a months-long, what police are calling a summer-long hunt for a Phoenix fentanyl fugitive ends in the high country. They took Jason Toby into custody. He was arrested near Eager after allegedly fleeing from state troopers in a car towards the New Mexico border. Investigators say Toby was the key target in a summer-long joint operation that uncovered a pipeline smuggling fentanyl and meth from the Phoenix area into rural Apache County and into portions of New Mexico as well. And he was wanted in multiple counties here in Arizona as well as New Mexico.
Would you consider yourself a mindful person?
I try, I guess, right?
Like you know how to slow down when you need to slow
No.
down.
No.
You don't.
I think we all
You just
need
keep
help
going.
practicing doing that, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why we want to introduce you to our next guest, Anthony Balduzzi. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. Anita mentioned it, and I think a lot of people, this is the time of the year, kids are going back to school. It's hot here in Arizona. I think we just kind of have, our minds are full, and that's where you come into play to kind of help us relax and kind of recenter ourselves, right?
For sure. And I just want to say that our bodies have the ability to heal and regenerate, but that only happens in a relaxed state. So one of our main jobs to really access our potential, access our self-regeneration, is to keep ourselves calm. And I think the easiest way is to use our breath.
Okay. So when you say that, can you give us some examples of how we use our breath to kind of relax ourselves?
And then my other question is too, is what if you're in that high stress situation, like right now at work, everything's going wrong with our buttons, which had happened. Can you just
Today it's not.
Today's a good day. But can you just stop anywhere and breathe like that? Or are people going to look at you like, what's going on?
Well, for sure, you're breathing anyways.
Okay.
It's just a factor of your awareness. So if you'll play along with me right now, and everyone listening
And
as
everyone
well.
at home.
Okay, so let's just feel the tingles right now that are happening in your hands and your forehead. And we're just becoming mindful of the sensations of life that's happening. We have trillions of cells, and inside those cells are trillions of metabolic reactions that are happening every second. The more we become aware and almost keep half of our attention in our bodies, half on the buttons we're pressing and the things we're saying, we can keep this kind of inner balance. I think we have a world right now with the technology and the demands and the driving and the traffic
the cell
and
phone
the kids
and the other cell phone.
dragging us outside. Our job then, as a modern human, is to maintain some center and connection in. And so a couple things we can do is, 1, feel that sensation and kind of keep anchored in that. And 2, learn to breathe more slowly. So in medical school, they teach you that the average respiration rate of somebody is around 12 to 15 breaths per minute. That is not optimal. Ideally, you should be breathing around 6 to 10 times a minute, which means that breath is taking 10 seconds for a complete breath. So let's try that. Let's try a...
So you want longer breaths.
You want longer, slower breaths.
Okay.
So let's take a 4-second inhale through the nose. Exhale.
Oh, I'm closing my eyes. Are we supposed to close our eyes?
Sure.
Okay, sorry.
It helps you relax.
Okay.
So inhale for 4.
I'll keep mine open.
Exhale for 6. Now here's another thing. As you exhale this next time, make a little sound. like a slight sound in the back of your throat.
But you can't do that when you're at work in a meeting. People will look at you.
That's where you go step outside.
But do you know what I mean?
I do.
I completely agree with you. I practice yoga daily, and
sure.
it is breath work. And the only thing that gets me through that hot yoga session is the breath work, because I have to concentrate on what I'm doing. But if I started doing this at a grocery store, you might be able to get away with it. But at a family function, someone's going to look at me and say, "What's the problem?
What's the problem? Yeah,
What's wrong with you now?"
I do feel that, and I have two comments on that. One, I think the path to health means you need to go a little bit black sheep. You need to be willing to get a little weird. You need to eat the weird stuff at the family gathering. You need to breathe a little more.
Bring your own
consciously.
tofu.
You start taking your shoes off. You know, you like, go out in the sun and you get naked. Like these, you know, I mean, these are just like the things that create health. So at a certain point, like your authenticity becomes, oh, I do these things. But you don't have to be too extreme with the breath. But I'm telling you, you have this vagus nerve that runs from your brain through your heart to your GI tract. It's the main parasympathetic highway, and it is synonymous with healing. We now know when that vagus nerve is activated, it gets activated through breathing, through yoga, through time in nature, through meditation practices. It suppresses inflammation in the body and turns on your self-healing capacity. And the opposite is like fight or flight, anxious. That's a short-term response to get away from a threat. And what's the body do? It's like, I don't need to worry about immune strength. I don't need to worry about fighting cancer cells. I just need to get glucose up, heart rate up, get the muscles activated. The problem is when we live there, we're robbing from our future. We're not able to heal. And so the ability to center in whatever way that you can is key.
You have an event coming up, Breakthrough in the Desert.
I do.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, I'm a naturopathic physician, and so I believe in holistic health. We're talking about a lot of the mind and the spirit aspects, and then how that translates to the body. And so I just invest in the local Phoenix, Arizona health scene. We have such an amazing community here. And so August 7 through 9, I have 3 days where I'm bringing over 200 people together.
Wow.
We can breathe. We're going to eat healthy food. We're going to practice movements like yoga and qigong. And I have 15 world-class talkers and speakers flying in from all over the nation to train people on health and longevity.
Are there still spots available?
There are still some spots available, yes. The event URL is breakthroughaz.com, and we have tickets available this entire week. And like, this is a place, like, if you want to drop in for a couple days and learn the practical longevity practices, I've brought it all here. It's going to be a super fun event.
Well, I think it works if you work it.
Yeah.
I really do, but it's just finding the way to make it work, to work it.
Immersion, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in our daily lives and we get so busy, and it's easy to think like, oh, I should exercise, oh, I should eat healthier and do this. But sometimes, like, taking a really big reset, getting around other people that are health conscious and dropping into some practices, it can change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
Because if you pick up one thing, like you get your morning walk with some sunshine for that infrared,
That helps.
or you start drinking more water, or you start building a super
We
nutrient
have to
dense.
take a quick break. Give us a second.
Okay, real quick before we go to break, when was the NBA formed? This is your question. All right, welcome back. 11:15. What year was it? The NBA was formed. We're getting some good guesses. We didn't have time to guess.
No.
But these are some good guesses. We got a 58, a 57, a 46, a 47.
Okay. What's your guess? Would you like to?
I'm going to go, everybody seems to be like in the upper 50s, so I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with a little philosophy.
Okay.
They said 1958. I'm going to go 1958 too.
I'll go 46.
Okay. Let's see. When was it formed? 1949.
Oh, wow.
Okay. There you go.
I didn't think it'd be around that long.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
Go NBA.
The Go NBA. All right, we're finishing up our conversation with Anthony Balduzzi. A big event happening. Tell us where people can get tickets one more time.
Breakthroughaz.com.
Okay.
Breakthroughaz is the URL. It has the schedule, all the amazing things. I mean, we have some fun stuff. Ceremonial chocolate called cacao, amazing for your health. Kava is alcohol-free. It really relaxes the nervous system. We
did a segment on Kava.
Yeah, we did.
Not too long ago, right? Yeah.
We have
It
a
didn't
Kava
work
happy
for
hour
us.
there. You guys need double the dose.
We need,
Try it
at
more.
least.
More Kava.
At least more Kava, please.
I love it.
Awesome. Okay, we'll make sure everything's up there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, maybe we'll stop by. We appreciate it.
We both need some centering, don't we? Namaste.
Yeah, namaste. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look real quick, you guys. There's a lot going on with ADOT.
Yeah.
We've got bridge work going on. We've got a big contest that they're doing right now.
And I have a submission from our director, Glenn.
You do?
I do.
Oh, wait, we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, ADOT is joining. Well, the campaign just wrapped up, but I thought it would be important to talk about this because it can happen anytime. It is called the Prevent Bridge Strikes. Check your height. No, it's right.
That's correct.
Hey, Kelsey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, so these videos are like on social media a lot. None of them, thankfully, here in Arizona, but there have been cases all over the country where these big loads try and go through a bridge, then they hit the bridge, causing all sorts of damage. So this is basically kind of your new campaign that you guys are doing, right?
So it's a multi-state campaign that wants to encourage drivers to check and make sure that their vehicles are not too tall to fit safely under bridges. So the photo that you're seeing right now, that was a bridge strike that occurred in 2017 at I-17 and 7th Avenue. And that one was in 2025 on I-10 near Craycroft Bridge near Tucson. So these crashes can occur, but they're completely preventable.
Sure.
And so part of this campaign is educating drivers to make sure that they are aware of how tall their vehicle is before they head out.
So here's the thing. You're looking at that and you're like, oh, that's just like a little chip in the concrete. We're fine.
That looks a little bit more than a chip, right?
We don't have to worry about it, but you're going to have to shut that overpass down. I mean, that is going to cost probably millions of dollars in materials and people working around the clock to get that fixed.
So that I-10 Craycroft Bridge, not this photo, but the other one, that one happened in 2025 and it caused over $560,000 in damages. And I will also say that in the last 2 fiscal years, ADOT's insurance recovery team has processed 14 bridge strike claims.
Really?
And recouped nearly $2.9 million from individuals and insurance firms that were responsible for causing damage to the highway infrastructure.
So we could be responsible if we go underneath it and it's our fault, we might have to pay.
Your insurance might have to pay.
Insurance could pay, yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So I guess this is happening a lot. I eat my words because I said I haven't seen anything of these happening here in Arizona, but clearly it is happening.
Wow.
So I guess this is your message, and you guys are not the only ones doing this, but walk us through kind of what your big messaging is and how do you kind of, I guess, make these drivers more aware of what's happening out there?
Part of it is just raising public awareness and doing social media posts and things like that, but there are simple things that drivers can do before they head out to reduce the chance of something like this occurring. First of all, know the maximum height of your vehicle, so you can either manually measure yourself, or you can check the sticker inside the vehicle to see what its max height is. Before you head out on the roads, make sure that you're lowering any extension equipment that you have and properly secure your loads before you head out on the highway. And also, don't rely only on GPS. Your GPS may not know the height of your vehicle, and so if you're in, let's say, a moving truck or an RV or a commercial truck, for example, your app may not know the height of your vehicle, and it could route you down somewhere where there's a low clearance or a low overpass. So you can also always check az511.gov and turn on trucking mode, or click the trucking restrictions, and you can put in your route, and it'll tell you if along your route there are certain areas that might have a trucking restriction, such as weight or height restrictions, and it'll show you if it's below 16 feet.
But also common sense, right? Let's use our common sense. If we're driving underneath,
What's that, Anita?
Yeah. if we're driving underneath that bridge and we don't think we can make it, maybe turn around and find another route. Don't risk it.
You absolutely, so if you inadvertently approach a bridge that's too low and you see that sign and you realize, oh, I'm too tall, I can't fit underneath that bridge safely, do not proceed. The safest thing to do is to get over to the shoulder and pull over, turn on your hazard lights, and then call 911 and wait for assistance. But do not proceed.
Yeah. Do not proceed. We have a couple of comments there. Linda says a year or two ago, a semi crashed into a bridge on the I-10 near Wilcox. Not the top, but one of the supports.
Maybe like the support beams, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, this obviously, Anita mentioned it, but you have to close the roadway, and then your team has to go out there, and then obviously the construction's going to take a long time to get this fixed. So this could really impact a lot of drivers by one little kind of silly mistake, right?
Yeah, it can absolutely cause a cascade of effects.
Sure.
And so that's why we're encouraging drivers now, in advance. These are all preventable collisions that occur. And so, before you head out, just make sure that you know the height of your vehicle. And if you do inadvertently approach a low clearance bridge, do not proceed. Pull off to the side onto the shoulder, and then call 911 and wait for assistance.
My husband has a cargo van, like a work van.
Yeah.
And we took it to the mall the other day, and we're going in that underground parking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Are you
This
sure?"
thing's gonna fit?
And he's like, "No, I know I'm sure, but I mean, I wouldn't risk it.
I know.
If I had a big load like that going under a bridge, I would be afraid of taking it down. And then I know the insurance pays it, but someone has to pay those premiums.
Yeah, that's going to go up on your insurance. After, right? Yeah.
Okay, so the campaign is officially over, but this is far from over, right?
Yes, it's even though the official campaign ran and through the end of last week, safety has no time limit.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It's always a thing.
You mentioned secure your load too. There's so much, I call it debris. There's so much debris everywhere. It's just a nicer way, but there's just so much everywhere.
And this is the time of the year too where those
tires are popping.
Yes, thank you.
Gators.
I was like, blah, blah. Yes, the gators. They call them the road gators because those tires pop, right?
Yeah, they can, and it's one of those things that we always tell the public. Make sure that you secure your load before you head out, and also to your point about tire debris on the roadway. In the summertime, the hotter conditions can create conditions that cause more of that to occur. So it's always a good idea before you head out to check your tire pressure and make sure that your tires are properly inflated before you head out.
That'll mess up your car if you get a flat.
Yeah.
But have you ever driven over?
Unfortunately, yes.
Let me tell you guys what happened to me really quickly before we move on to the next topic. I'm on the 51, 2 lanes over from my exit, which was at Indian School Road. And I called him a hot dog, kind of racing through. And I do not drive slow, but this guy's racing through and didn't like the fact that everyone was slowing down. Well, we were slowing down because there was a big tire right in the middle of the freeway, in the lane next to mine. So this hot dog proceeds to hit the tire.
I like how you call him a hot dog.
You know what? It flew up, and you know where it landed? Right under my front end.
Oh, did it do damage?
So I don't know. I didn't get underneath there. But literally at one point I looked in my rear view thinking, did I drive over it? But it was almost as big as my car. Well, it's lodged underneath. So I had to go like 5 miles an hour, try to get off on Indian School Road. Everyone's like, go, go, go. I pull over, and then there's little old me in my yoga pants looking around, wondering if anyone was going to help me, trying to yank this tire out. I think I picked up my car. I was so angry at the person who dropped that tire and left it, and the hot dog who hit it. Gotta watch your surroundings.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we tell drivers, stay alert and pay attention to try and avoid that, and also just to prevent those situations from occurring in the first place. So checking your tire pressure in advance, and also securing your load so hazardous debris doesn't get left behind on the
That's my
roadway.
submission. Watch your surroundings, hot dogs.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's our
next
segue.
topic.
Because if you've been around here in Arizona
These
for
are
a while,
great.
you guys do those great message boards everywhere. I thought these were our messages. I thought we were going to see the messages. But those are like the boards. You see them right there.
Yeah.
But you guys put hilarious messages on these, and now there's a contest. You've opened
Oh,
it
there
up.
we go.
So- right
Fast
there.
and Furious.
Try
Oh.
safe and curious.
Oh,
Curious.
courteous.
No, courteous, not
Courteous.
curious.
I was asking our producer, director Glenn. I said, Glenn, give me an idea. And he says to me, leave me alone, Anita. So that's my submission. My other submission.
Oh, I thought there was a good one, but
No.
Glenn was just telling you to leave him alone.
Well, I thought maybe that was the submission. No?
But Kelsey, you've done this in years past, and you guys get flooded
Good
with
stuff.
these submissions.
We do, and this is our 10th year running the safety message contest. And if you would like to submit your lovely idea, you can go to azdot.gov/sign contest. Again, that's azdot.gov/sign contest through tomorrow to submit your creative and engaging traffic safety message.
So what we're watching right now are all the great ADOT employees changing the messages.
So those are actually the winners from
last
year.
year.
So
Okay.
the two messages that you just saw were the winners from last year's safety message contest, and those were the people who submitted those messages.
And they got to go
Oh,
They got
how
to-
fun!
They got to go in and
and type in their own message.
And type in their message.
Oh,
and
that
they'll-
is so cool.
That is really
How many submissions do you get?
Depends on the year, but usually in the thousands.
Wow.
So after the submission period closes, we'll go through and look through all of them and pick about 10 to 15 finalists for the public to vote on. And then at that point, the two messages that receive the most votes are the winners and then displayed on our overhead message board.
How do you even start to whittle those down? That must be really hard.
It's a spreadsheet and a lot of time. That's what it is.
Oh, I love that.
She takes that spreadsheet home with her in the evenings
You
with
would
a
have
glass
to,
of
right, with that
wine and a
many?
little chocolate.
Go through, and then do you have like a team that's like, I like this one. What about you guys? And then you guys vote that way?
So it's a very collaborative process on the team where we go through and we'll whittle down, the finalists into a smaller pool, and then from there we'll make sure that we review every single message and ensure that it's appropriate to
Sure.
be displayed before we send it back out to the public and let them vote on them.
And then when, so the submissions have to be due this
tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Okay.
through tomorrow evening.
And then when will you come up with the finalists?
So it depends on how long it takes to review
Gotcha,
all of those
okay.
messages, but usually it'll take about a week or two, and then the public has about a week to vote on their favorites, and then from there, we'll typically invite the winners in, and then they get to display their messages.
So fun.
Well, Kelsey, come back. Will
With the
you come back
winners.
with-
Can you come back with the winners?
Well, come back with the finalists, and then come back with the winners.
Yeah.
Look, we're getting three more.
Do you have
guest
any? You
appearances.
don't have any ideas? You're so creative.
I gotta. I can't do this on the spot like this. I need some time to noodle this over, Kelsey.
Well,
I gotta hurry.
You know what my email is.
Okay,
So
look, if I
you
find one.
You can reach out, and I'll be happy to come back.
We need to make one with incorporating debris and hot dogs.
There you go. All right, we got 10 seconds left, but tomorrow, what we're looking for, primaries held in Washington, Missouri, Kansas and Michigan. I got it wrong. And then Tiger Woods' criminal case is back on. We'll see you tomorrow.
11:30 means it's time for the continuation of Fox 10 Talks. Ron and Des, Des. I have just not spent very much time in Arkansas, but everybody says it's really quite beautiful, the hills there. And one Corey McCloskey said this very town, which has got that little, almost like its own little town version of Times Square where the two roads meet. He's like, this is Eureka Springs. It's Dean's Choice Camera of the Day. He said, you'd really like it. You ought to go spend a little bit of time there.
Okay. This shot's beautiful.
Yeah, no kidding. So I feel like if you're going to go to Arkansas, you just have to go to Arkansas, right? Is it on the way to some other... I don't know. I mean, the one time I was there, we were driving through, my daughter and I. She had just graduated from college. She was moving to D.C., and I said, we'll drive together, father and daughter, all the way across America. So that was the one time we saw Little Rock.
What a trip. How long was that trip?
I think it took about 5 days. We stopped to see my Aunt Nancy in Virginia, which was a lot of fun. And anyway, you know me, I love a road trip.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, maybe they'll make a comeback because we're talking about airline tickets and prices lately.
Wow. I just bought some tickets this weekend. I could not believe what I was seeing. But we will talk about that. I just wonder, Des, if everybody is ready for, once we find out for sure how it's all going to work here with these cuts from the water out of the Colorado River.
Yeah, this was big news on Friday that we, were discussing here on the stream. And yeah, it was mentioned that Arizona is looking at a 31% reduction.
Yeah.
It's the biggest on the board right now.
Yeah. So we've been talking to some experts. Take a listen.
I think this will affect our economy and we'll definitely feel it. Water is going to get more expensive. That is something we can count on. It's going to be a challenge to respond to whatever reductions we see.
So even our two main gubernatorial candidates are on the same page here. Governor Katie Hobbs calls the options unacceptable. Congressman Andy Biggs says the pain is not being shared equally. That's for sure. 31% for us. And quite a bit smaller for Nevada and for California. But I was just driving through Page just a few weeks ago, stopped off there at the Glen Canyon Dam Visitor Center, and it's just so low. I mean, we can all pray for rain and pray for snow and all of that kind of thing, and it's like we can't. Maybe can we continue to have these awful winters where there just is not very much snow, because that's what's going on.
Right. It is devastating when we come off a bad winter. We're not getting the water accumulation that I think we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Now we're in monsoon season, and I think every day all of us are praying for some, measurable good rain. We obviously want all the rain that we can get. But when you look at some of these numbers, it's hard to put into perspective or picture how much 3 million acre feet in cuts is.
Right.
That's difficult to comprehend. But we're talking about 9 million families potentially impacted by this.
Yeah.
So,
right.
That's a big number.
All our water rates are going to go up, I guess, till we get to the point where we're like really, really serious about. Although I was just talking to some people who had moved out of Gilbert to Mesa or to Apache Junction this weekend, and they're like, the water rates, that was part of why we got out of there.
Well, yeah, we've been covering that extensively.
Sure.
I think that initial increase was 25%, and then from there, it went up another 25%. So you're talking about water almost doubling on folks. That's a lot for a family to try to, sustain a water bill that's now double what they're used to paying.
Yeah. I mean, they said their water bill used to be under 100, and now it was well over 200, closer to 300.
Yeah, that's a big number. Yeah.
So.
And cost of everything else, we talk about it all the time, has gone up. To run your AC, all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of scary.
Hey, let's talk about what happened in Idaho going into the weekend. I love this little town of Twin Falls, Idaho. If I'm ever driving through that part of Idaho, I always stop in at Twin Falls. There's a little Italian restaurant, actually really close to where this shooting happened, that I love to go to. And so some of what we're hearing coming in from Twin Falls, not good at all.
I was running. I faced the shooter head on, and he pointed the gun at me. And I ducked behind a white car just to have some sort of coverage.
He popped one shot at the vehicle, and that's when I ducked down, told my two little brothers to duck down.
The police chief has been speaking out. His name is Matthew Hicks. He did say yesterday that they have identified the gunman, now dead, as Chad Williams. He acted alone when he opened fire there in Twin Falls at the In-N-Out. An off-duty state trooper and a civilian fired on the attacker in an effort to divert him away from the restaurant. So police have not yet disclosed the names of the victims, but got to be a lot of heartache in that city for sure.
And they have a big investigation on their hand. Even though the suspect is no longer here either, passing away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They have a lot of witnesses to try to speak with, a lot of video to gather.
Right.
I mean, we were seeing a lot of video come out this weekend, and it gave me chills watching one person who was video, recording the shooter, walking through the parking lot, pretty much a good distance away from them.
Yes.
But at one point, he kind of turns and comes back in their direction and gets pretty close to their vehicle.
Wow.
And you can hear the woman in the car go, "No, stop recording. Get down, get down. We don't, I don't want them to see us."
Oh, I hadn't seen
They were
that
hiding
video
out in
yet.
their car.
Wow.
It gave me chills because it's like, could you imagine watching that? And, I think you think or, have a picture of how you hope you'd react.
Right.
But when that situation is happening, it was just quite chilling to hear her. You can hear the, terror.
I don't know if they even know a motive at this point. They say they're investigating.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to find out more about it. Okay, so you mentioned the airfares. What is going on? They do say, and there's some legitimacy to this, that the price of jet fuel has been going up so much this summer, especially ever since the war with Iran, that they've had to raise their fares, but the people keep buying tickets. Planes are still full.
Well, and who knows what kind of, and I know we hear that and you're like, how are people keeping up? What other sacrifices are they making? There's got to be some sort of adjustment in their lives, right, to be able to afford these tickets still.
Right.
Or is it, that sales are still up, but everybody's putting it on credit cards or, that's maybe another angle to look at. But,
maybe you get cheaper hotels when you're on your vacay or...
Yeah, or maybe your travel's not as long. Maybe you're not going for 7 days.
Yeah.
I
wonder.
You've got to make an adjustment somewhere. But so if you're traveling for the holidays, I'm just thinking like now's the time to book.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
We're not that far out from, we've got what? We're already in August, so I don't even count August.
Right.
September, October, November.
Yeah. So I was getting ready to buy some tickets this weekend for my daughter to fly up to Seattle for a Husky game, because I always do that for the kids, And normally Salt Lake City to Seattle would be like $200, maybe $300. Most of the airfares were $600. So
crazy.
I felt super lucky to find one for like $450.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I don't even look at flights. There's too many of us.
I know.
It's disappointing.
Hey, one of our favorite places here of all the attractions in the valley is Odyssey.
Yes, and we got a really cool look at a behind-the-scenes space at the aquarium.
Visit the Odyssey Aquarium every day, but very few get to see where the magic really happens behind closed doors.
Yeah, so that's what Irene is doing today. She's live at their Aquatic Care Center for a behind-the-scenes look. This is a space not many folks see.
Yeah, I know, guys. I've been here. I think this is my second time here right now, and it's always interesting to see the behind-the-scenes look. You can see they have a pretty big off-site facility here. They have so many different critters. We saw the turtles during the teas, and here we have the piranhas. And we're going to talk to Curtis here this morning about the piranhas during their feeding. What's something people don't expect from piranhas? They're not necessarily vicious killers.
No, they're actually not. They're actually more of scavengers than anything else. So when a big animal goes into the water, they actually get scared. They're actually pretty afraid of their own shadows even.
Watch, you're feeding them right now. What are you feeding them?
So this is just chopped up fish.
And then I see, is that them right there? I'm trying to see from my perspective. They're right there. Oh, look at that. They're going right for the fish. They eat them pretty quickly, you said, right?
Yeah, they usually do. They're pretty active. They'll grab food pretty quickly. They are, like I said, scavengers. So they actually are like the vultures of the freshwater world.
And then why why would they be in here in the quarantine facility as opposed to at Odyssey Aquarium?
So these guys are actually new to Odyssey, so they come here for quarantine purposes for usually 30 to 60 days.
Okay.
So we do that because a lot of the animals that come to us may have parasites or any diseases like that. So we want to make sure that we're not introducing that into our actual exhibits on site, and then it could be detrimental to the other animals.
And you, of course, have many other critters here. We're going to walk this way, and I think we're walking toward, what did you say, the lionfish?
Yes, they are lionfish, red lionfish.
Red lionfish. What other types of animals do you have here, other than them as well?
So we have blue line grunts. We also have quite a few different freshwater fish that just came in. And then we have some lobsters. We've had sharks here, and we've also had sea turtles here.
Wow, okay. Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting that. They're right at the surface. Look at those guys. Well, hello. What do we know about the lionfish?
So these are red lionfish. They are native to the Indo-Pacific, but they have been introduced into the Caribbean. So they are an invasive species. Mm-hmm. There's nothing in the Caribbean that actually will eat them or knows to eat them. So their numbers have exploded. They are very common in the hobby world, so a lot of people will have these in their home aquariums.
Well, they're so cool looking. I can see why. And why are they here today?
So they are here because they are actually getting ready to move from one exhibit to another exhibit.
Same deal.
Same deal. So we're going to quarantine them for 30 to 60 days, do some preventative medicines for them, and then they'll go into their new home.
Look at them. Look how interesting they are. And I'm assuming lionfish is because of the mane look on them.
Say that again?
I'm assuming lionfish is because of the way they look with like a mane and everything.
Correct, yeah. So when they go to actually go after their prey, they'll actually spread their front fins out real big, and it looks like a giant mane.
That's pretty cool.
And it distracts their prey. The prey starts looking at their fins and not their mouth, and then their mouth will come and get
Now,
it.
we don't want them to look like that for us right now.
Isn't
So,
that
no,
interesting, right? You always learn something on our show.
Right? Yeah, we don't want that for sure. But it's just so cool to get behind the scenes of this major attraction.
I know, right? Just to see all the different spaces and different people that, keep the aquarium up and going. Pretty cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Tillman is next with the Drone Zone. We're going to talk a little Old Tucson movie studios. But first, your mystery camp. Well, I don't know about you, Des, but I can't wait to find out where today's mystery cam is. So, look at this. Where, once again, I feel like it's a brand new camera. I don't know how Dean keeps pulling this off, but yeah, you got a Jeep, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram dealership on the other side.
I'm just wondering what's atop that, like, hill there? Is that like a hotel or a resort? It's got a red roof? Or it's a construction, like the building, it's like, is it a red roof? Or?
Yeah, when it first popped up, I thought maybe California, but the buildings do look very old. The houses, the white homes look old. The buildings with the brick buildings. I don't know. I guess I got to go somewhere back east, but I'm trying to think, where would it possibly look like? By the way,
we got a couple guesses.
Joe Tillman is our special guest here for the next segment. Joe, you got any guesses? You got the photographer's eye.
I'm going to say that looks either like maybe Iowa, New Hampshire-ish.
Oh, okay.
Just because the buildings maybe, and it looks like maybe some clouds are moving in too, perhaps.
Okay, a little weather report from Joe.
Sure.
Very nice, buddy.
Right. Good guess.
I could see somewhere in New England now that you mention it.
Yeah, Jared of Sonora says he is going to guess Virginia.
Okay.
And then we have a Delaware or Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So another New England.
Hassa is jumping in to say it's Dubuque, Iowa. It's not, because Joe was saying Iowa, and feeling pretty confident about Dubuque. I've never been there, so it's Tennessee. I could see that.
Yeah. Linda says Missouri. Louis says Arkansas. And Be Kind Forever says Oregon. And Thomas Brown with a guess of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Pennsylvania.
Okay. I'll go, man, this one's tough. Where is it that? I think somewhere in New England. I like how Joe was thinking about that, so I'll go Massachusetts.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
Here we go. Dun, 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 dun.
And the answer is, if I can open the paper, it's Edinburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
Ebensburg or Ebensburg? Where in the heck? Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that zoom by Glenn. Here's one more look at it right now. Let's find out where that is. I mean, it's a streaming show. We can take a minute here to Ebens. Oh, wait. Got to spell it right. Ebensburg.
Wonder what the temperature there today is. It looks nice and pleasant. As you said, the clouds look like they're rolling in, keeping them cool. 75 degrees there today. So that's nice.
Wow.
It looks
I've never
humid,
heard
though.
of Ebensburg. Yeah.
It looks humid.
It does.
It looks humid.
Yeah. Let's see here. It is, I'd say pretty well east of Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I see that. Yeah. Oh, it's up by Johnstown, home of the famous Johnstown flood. That is really interesting. Never
Southwest
heard
State
about
College.
that town.
So, yeah, it looks like a just cute little small town.
Good guess, that's for sure. Hey, we did just want to update everybody on what's going on in Spokane to try to get you the latest information. They did have a big news conference. By the way, the evacuations are continuing to grow, if you can imagine this. This morning we started with a figure of 60,000. We're now up to 65,000. And the problem is they got 3 different fires going, and it seems like they're kind of converging on the city. I lived and worked in Spokane, and we lived, I think, right out in this area where the fire hit, because there was a river and a lake out there that was a little bit out of town, but it looks like a lot of homes in that area on the north edge of Spokane have been destroyed. There are, right now, they are at 0% containment. And firefighters are hopeful that they can make some progress today because there's still winds, but the temp is down to about 80 instead of the mid-90s. So, okay.
Yeah, not good to see that. And we saw from a reporter earlier that we had in the 10 how some homes are just, they're gone. There's nothing left.
Right.
And then across the street, you have some folks who just, I guess, got lucky, really.
Right.
And, avoided the flames.
These folks here on their boat, seeing what the flames are just literally climbing up into the hills and consuming more of these homes. So it's really tough. But we're going to stay on that story as it unfolds in the coming days. Right now, 11:49. Let's bring in Joe to the conversation.
Yeah, we love Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hello, how's it
How
going?
are you?
Good morning.
So one of the things we're talking about today is a local group and their efforts to save Old Tucson. We talked to someone in the 10 who's, passionate about trying to save what it is and give it new life. And you guys were out there with the drone a couple years ago.
We were out there a couple of years ago. Now, I'm Arizona born and raised, so I went there as a little kid too. But my counterpart, BK, first time there, and he was blown away because some of our favorite movies have been shot there. I mean, it's if you like westerns, like Tombstone was shot there. It's like, and one of our favorites, Three Amigos. And
yes,
Ron's too.
We were talking about that last hour.
If you have BK on the show next, he can do the salute where they're doing and they cough or something like that. He was doing it the whole time on the shoot, and he's got it down, and it's great.
Oh, that's so great.
But I think Tombstone was the last big production before the huge fire that destroyed like nearly 50% of the old studio.
And yet they came back from that.
And they came back from the fire.
Yeah.
And Little House on the Prairie was shot there.
Wow. Let's talk about it here. So you guys, when you go down there and you set up, you have a staging area, and you're like, I think based on where the sun is, or we're going to shoot it from this angle. To kind of walk through that part.
Right. When we go there, well, we saw a plan at first because we wanted to know what we wanted to shoot, because it's in here. That big church from Tombstone is in here, and that's primarily where, like, we know people would recognize that when we show it. So we wanted to focus on that, and that to be in front of that, and you're like, oh, Tombstone, Val Kilmer was here. It's just really, really cool, and it's in our backyard, which is even better. You can go down there and be part of the old set.
Yeah.
I mean, Clint Eastwood's been there, Ronald Reagan, John Wayne. It's like all the classics have shot at Old Tucson, and it's in a beautiful area, and it takes you back in time. And if you're a movie buff, you'll absolutely love it.
So what stories were people telling you when you guys were down there to drone this? Because obviously they saw a decline, a sharp decline in visitors because of the pandemic, and that was 6 years ago now. You guys were just there a couple years ago. So what were those stories like then?
Well, they were talking about just how back in the day when John Wayne was walking on the streets, and all the stuff they did to make him look bigger. Like they make the doors smaller, so when he comes out of the huge doors, he looks like he's a giant. So it's like you learn like movie tricks and stuff like this when you're down there, and it's just something you don't get to see every day.
Right.
And plus, it's once again, it's right here. We can go to it, and it's just amazing time to spend. And they do stuff at night now for Halloween, so they're trying to get more people. But I really do hope they save it, because it really is a treasure in our own backyard.
John Wayne loved Arizona. I mean, he had a ranch here out kind of in the direction, I think, of south of Florence, out there. So he loved time in the desert.
And he still has a table at Stockyards Restaurant, where John Wayne table, he used to come in and have his steak, and it's still there to this day at Stockyards Restaurant.
I got to go check that out for
very
sure.
Cool.
What
was your favorite part, the church that you were mentioning?
The church,
or did you...
because that's so, for us, and it's so iconic. And especially if you love Tombstone, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's a great Western. And it's just so, because I immediately was stepped into the movie when I saw that church. I'm like, that is just so awesome to be in front of it. And then once again, Three Amigos was real. We're like, we really love Three Amigos. So, but it's just, I mean, Gunfight to OK Corral was shot there. And it's just like all these really, really cool old Western movies that you can still walk and be part of it today.
It should almost be like a protected historic status. Anyway, when the more you tell these stories, the more I'm thinking it is like an indispensable part of our state's history.
100%, and it's like I really do hope they somehow try to keep it somehow, because it's just so interesting. And they have the wedding chapel that's been in tons of movies there, and you just get to step back in time. And once again, it's 2 hours away from us.
Yeah. So, what do you remember as a kid going there? Because I love that part of the story.
I remember going as a kid because it's like I'm going back in time, and it's just like I want to be John Wayne, and it's just like I want to ride a horse down, and hook it up and go in the tavern and all this stuff, and have a gunfight,
Yeah, with somebody.
Right. And it's like fall off the roof, all this crazy stuff you saw as a kid. And that's the church where they do a bunch of weddings, been in a bunch of movies.
Wow.
But it's just an amazing, and to see it up close and personal, it's a whole different thing, because you become part of the movies.
Now,
it took you back, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it took you back to childhood. That's pretty special.
Can people go if they wanted to watch this whole episode right now, or once we're done here in 3 minutes? What do they do?
It's on our YouTube page.
Okay.
If you or you can just Google Fox 10 Phoenix Old Tucson Movie Studios, and it should come up on a Google search.
Yeah.
And you can watch this. And we did special projects on it too. We talked to the historians back there, and it's just we could have made this like a 10-minute story because all just the history and all the stuff that's happened there, and who took it over, and how it became a entertainment place and a movie studio. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was up till like 93, they're still shooting major blockbusters there.
I was going to say, have there been any talks or any buzz about movies, trying to go back?
I sure hope so, because it's a great place to shoot. I mean, like, a lot of episodes of Little House on the Prairie. I mean, the backdrop is the beautiful Tucson mountains. I mean, it's just, once you get there, you can see why this was made into a Tucson movie studio, because just the backdrops and everything around it.
So around it, there have never been any homes built, et cetera. I know the Saguaro National Monument is nearby.
Correct.
But is it kind of on the edge of forest land? What is protected?
It's just on the edge, which is really interesting because it's sort of by itself in the middle of the Tucson desert. There's some homes around it, but not for a while. So when you go there, it's just pretty much Old Tucson studio right in the middle of the desert, and it's all by itself.
It's just that.
And the beautiful Tucson mountains. That's why they shot there too, because the mountains behind them. John Wayne riding on a horse. You've got the beautiful mountains and the church. I mean, it's an epic place to shoot a movie. And I still hope movies get shot there.
And you wouldn't know from when you're watching the movies and the scenes. All you have to do is get on the other side of the hill. You got the Metro Tucson area with almost 1 million people.
Right.
Just on the other side of the hill.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing, too, they still have the old movie sets where they're just a facade. So it's just like the front of a saloon, but behind it, there's nothing behind it. You walk through the door, there's nothing behind it. So they still have the facade set up. Yeah. You can go interact, and the huge bar. So it's a lot of fun.
Wow. Yeah, well, like you said, hopefully then they make some headway in trying to save this. The goal is pretty hefty.
Right.
The group is trying to raise $3 million, but hopefully, hopefully they do.
Yeah, we'll stay on top of it, that's for sure. All right, don't be a stranger, Joe.
Thank
Come
you
on
very
over
much.
and bring your sidekick.
But if BK's back on the show, have him do the shout out from Three Amigos. You'll love it. He's so good at doing that. It's amazing.
Where was he today? We got to get him on.
Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. All right, that's it, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.